Hello and welcome to this Lightroom quick edit. Today I'm gonna take this raw file from the Isle of Skye and I'm gonna turn it into a picture like this in about 5 minutes. This was shot at Staffin on the Isle of Skye with a Canon 600D and a Tamron 72-300mm lens at 92mm, so quite compressed, and I really just saw this house in the distance and I really like the different layers from the foreground, midground and even background. I think the picture has a lot of potential. So let's get started by raising the shadows and bringing down the highlights as usual, then just bringing up the whites and holding down the Alt key to make sure there's nothing clipped. Then I'm gonna bring down the blacks just a little bit, don't want to go too far right now. And also I'm gonna add some contrast to really get these structures out of the picture. And I think the white balance is a little bit off, so let me just try to figure that one out. I think I might go a little bit into the blues here. Actually, I think it works really well for the foreground, but the background is just a little bit too blue now. So I'm just gonna grab a graduated filter for the background and just give it back some of the warmth to kind of cancel out this blue. So I think that looks pretty good already. Let's see if I want to add any clarity. I don't really think it's needed. I don't really think it looks very good, to be honest. So I'm just gonna leave that at 0. And I'm gonna play around with the vibrance, and I definitely want to add some vibrance because this is a raw file and I really think it works here. It really gives the whole picture a little bit more of a punch. So I think I'm done with the basics adjustments. As always, I'm also gonna go into the tonal curve and just see what I want to do here. Really different with every single picture, but I'm mainly gonna concentrate on the foreground right now because I think the background is a little bit too bright regardlessly. So I'm gonna grab another graduated filter and just go a little bit minus exposure with the background, and maybe go even a little bit plus contrast, and even go a little bit more into the yellows because there's still a little bit too much blue. And you see the sky is very boring. I mean, it's not overexposed, but there's just no detail, no clouds in it. So I'm just gonna crop the image, I think, to really get rid of quite a bit of the sky. I still want a little bit of sky in the picture because I think that works quite well to give the picture a sense of depth, but it just was a little bit too much. So let me quickly also go into the detail tool, just add some sharpening right here really quickly, and also add color noise reduction. And I think there's definitely a little bit of vignetting missing, so I'm going to go to effects and add quite a bit of vignetting here as well. Maybe even bring it more towards the middle. And then I'm also gonna grab a gradient filter, drag it over the bottom, and just kind of try to close out the picture, and grab another graduated filter for the top. Just bring a little bit more plus exposure in the whole scene to make everything just a little bit more interesting and dynamic. Before any graduated filters, and here's after, you see it really fixes the whole picture and at the same time really makes it a lot more dynamic. So I think I might even add even more vignetting with the adjustment brush. Just add a brush over the bottom right here and maybe the left. Really not too much needed, but I think what I've added works quite well. And lastly but not leastly, I'm gonna add some dodge and burning, just make some of these boring parts a little bit more interesting. And of course, as always, I'm gonna be back in just a second. So here's before any dodge and burning, and here is after. Just really kind of complexified the whole lighting scheme. I might have overdone it just with this one, but overall I really think dodge and burning worked quite well for this picture, and it really made everything a lot more interesting. Then as always, let's see the before and after on this picture. Here is the before, the raw file without any editing, and I have to say the difference is really quite severe. And here's after, really a completely different picture, and I think that's one of the biggest impacts I have ever had in one of my 5-minute quick edits. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that like button. It really helps me out a ton and is hugely appreciated. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already for daily photography videos, and of course, as always, take care.